Let's see what's happening at the NGX. Now, for intraday analysis, we have Oluwaseun Dosimu, Head Investment Research at Parthian Securities. Great to have you on the program. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Ladi.
Yeah, so last I checked, the market was up about 0.02%. Not so convincing. What's happening right now?
Okay, so we've seen activity slow down today. We've not seen the regular buying sentiments that we've been seeing since the start of the year. It's not surprising. At this point, we expect a catalyst to come and, drive activities. I mean, historically, during these times, we normally see corporate actions. This time last year, we had, the listing of Boa Foods on the exchange. We also had additional listing of Airtel shares on the exchange. So that actually, spurred investors' interest in the market. So we're not having that come right now, but I mean, nevertheless, everybody's looking forward to the release of the fourth quarter earnings from companies, and that will most likely drive increase, or that would most likely increase investor participation in the market. So,
and talking about talking about the fourth quarter earnings, what are you expecting? Do you think any one of these companies are going to beat analyst expectations?
A couple of them do quite well. Looking at their third quarter earnings, the only thing that comes to mind now has to do with the input cost in terms of energy cost, cost of diesel, and the fact that we had the scarcity. The scarcity was a bit rampant in December, so that is the only worry we have. Apart from that, I mean, corporate numbers have been looking quite good, especially for 2022, and we expect that to also filter into this year, I mean, 2023. Nevertheless, I mean, we need to look at the numbers holistically. I mean, I remember saying this a couple of weeks ago that when we did the analysis, we saw that a lot of companies now, between 70 and 80% of the companies on the exchange have done way better than they did for their 2021 numbers in just the third quarter alone. So we expect that, their full year numbers will actually look good. And that should actually translate into higher dividend payment or in terms of the dividend payout ratio too. So we're actually looking forward to higher dividends for 2022 compared to 2021.
And it'll be interesting to see how all of the energy cost issues, inflation, PPI, how that plays into the OPEX, operating expenses for most of these companies. But looking out for those numbers for sure. But what stocks are on your radar right now?
Okay, so based on our view, I mean, we're looking at the oil and gas sector. We're looking at we're also looking at the banking sector. There are some stocks there. I mean, for instance, we have Zenith on the top of our list, and that's just basically because of the dividend yields. I mean, we know that the dividend yields for Zenith is quite high. We're also looking at the telcos. I mean, those guys are poised for growth, given the fact that, we would see more in terms of the numbers coming for the PSB license and the 5G, the adoption of the 5G license coming to play. So I think for us, while focusing more on the telcos, the banks, and, some stocks in the oil and gas sector.
And obviously, next week we have the first meeting, the first MPC meeting for the year 2023. What are you expecting?
We can't say exactly how the outcome will be. I mean, right now, we can only use the historical data. So historically, the CBN governor said that the main key driver for the hike in interest rates was because of inflation. And we saw the December inflation, decline marginally to 21.34%. So the expectation is that, following what other central banks have done globally, we do not expect them to just leave rates. We expect a marginal increase in rates. We expect a marginal increase in rates, but because, they've been talking about how the key driver is just inflation. And now we've seen inflation pull back just for December. Based on our forecast, we expect inflation to continue in a downward trend, especially for 2023. And that is basically due to the base effect, not necessarily because, consumer prices or prices of commodities generally have declined. So we expect a mild increase at the next meeting.
All right, we're looking out for that meeting and how investors actually react to it. Thank you so much, Oluwaseun Dosunmu, Head Investment Research at Pathian Securities. Thank you so much.